You remember President Trump said he will decide within the next 2 weeks if he'll order a U.S. airstrike on Iran's underground nuclear facility. He continues to say that he wants to give diplomacy a chance. But Iran says they won't resume talks with the United States unless Israel stops their fucking attacks.
Jack, the group Jewish Voices for Peace
Here
in Chicago. They say to show support to the people of Gaza. They're calling on Israel to stop the field.
Well, hi, welcome in. I'm Courtney Hall. Join me as I take you on a tour of Chicago real estate like we've never seen it before. Welcome to the top. Open House Chicago, Sunday morning at 8:30 on NBC5.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time to drive smarter. With high-tech features and excellent reliability. From the Kelley Blue Book Best Value brand. Right now, you can get a $289 per month lease or 3.99% APR on a 2025 HRV all-wheel drive LX.
This is the city that built itself back from nothing. And this is the place that lives that same spirit, day in and day out. We are ranked Illinois' #1 children's hospital for a lot of reasons. But there's only one that matters. All for your one. Chevy makes affordable vehicles that help you enjoy life. Get more from us on the Chevy Trax. Next cruise every month. Visit ChevyTribeChicago today.
Left his 18-month-old baby boy in his truck for 3 hours while he went for a haircut and a drink. Investigators believe the little boy's body temperature had reached 111 degrees. They say he was already dead when Gardner drove to his mother's home to call for help.
That's awful. NBC5 responds and a warning about high levels of lead in some specialty foods. I'm sure you've heard of cassava. It's popping up as an ingredient in a lot of gluten-free, paleo-friendly foods and chips.
But now a new investigation from my
tested 27 popular cassava items and found that more than 2/3 have concerning levels of lead. Lead exposure is especially dangerous for children and pregnant women because it can damage the brain and nervous system in young kids and developing fetuses. Frequent exposure in adults is linked to immune system suppression, reproductive issues, and kidney damage.
We found the cassava flour, which is often considered a healthy and grain-free alternative, to be especially problematic in regards to lead levels.
CR found that 4 cassava products currently on the market have such high levels of lead that they advise avoiding these products entirely. CR contacted all 18 companies whose products exceeded its lead threshold, but only 9 responded. Some said that lead occurs naturally and is difficult to eliminate. Others said they've been making changes. Thrive Market pulled its cassava chips after internal testing and is investigating further. Made Good removed cassava from its crackers entirely, and Lesser Evil is phasing cassava out of its product line. Some brands, including Bob's Red Mill and Pamela, said their cassava products already carried California's Proposition 65 warning labels, alerting buyers to potential lead content. Bottom line for cassava consuming shoppers?
If you're going to consume products that contain cassava, we suggest that you reduce the number of servings per week.
If you're avoiding gluten, other options like buckwheat, corn, millet, and sorghum haven't shown the same lead concerns. And don't rely too heavily on any one food. Varying your diet is one of the best ways to limit exposure to harmful substances like lead. Consumer Reports released a complete list of cassava products they tested, including the ones to avoid. We'll link you to that alongside the story on our website, NBCChicago.com/consumer. Kate Chappell, NBC5 Response.
Our thanks to Kate. Hot weekend ahead, everyone. And one reason Chicago takes the heat wave so seriously is because of what happened 30 years ago this summer. More than 700 people died in July of 1995. Most of them seniors or those who are living alone. I know Randy Gyllenhaal touched on this in his story tonight, but it really is something we need to remember.
When sadly the morgue was running out of body bags. It's hard to fathom that stuff. But what we did learn from the report that was done is that your body can take about 3 days of heat before it starts to break down. It's, as you said, a cumulative effect. Seek cooling. And once you get cooled off, you can go back and endure a little more heat. But we've got better systems set up now. We've got the city with cooling. And one of the things that happens is there's no relief. Overnight, it doesn't cool off. And let's explain what's going on here. A lot of Chicago is masonry construction, brick, mortar, concrete. The sun sends in short-wave radiation. That's what heats things up during the daylight hours. And then at night, that heat is re-radiated, long-wave radiation, like infrared, like you'd feel in front of a fire. Have you walked on a sidewalk past a building just after sunset and you feel that heat radiating off? Well, not only does it go away from the building, but it can concentrate inward, and that's what happened back in 1995. The brick bungalow construction of Chicago that keeps you warm in the winter turned into an oven in the summertime. So we need to avoid the potential here for another situation like that, and we've got more mechanisms in place to keep you safe. Let's hear the next storm team throughout the weekend. Here's what we're dealing with at this point. It's extreme heat warning. So where is the relief? The relief looks like it'll come probably around Tuesday. We'll start to see the first breakdown in this pattern. It's called the Ring of Fire because the big high sits to the south, and around the edge you'll see showers and thunderstorms. You see up the Dakotas, severe thunderstorm, tornado warnings there. Windy conditions out of the south. That should keep mixing the atmosphere, so we don't have a pollution problem. It's not a stagnant air mass that's over us, but we wind up with the pattern holding all the way through Monday. Now watch what happens as we get to the first part of next week. We'll start to see a boundary sagging southward, and this thing may sit on us for most of next week. It'll bring showers and thunderstorms, but relief. Temperatures in the 80s into next week, but that doesn't come until around Tuesday. So here's the outlook for the next 10 days. Extreme heat warning all the way through the weekend into next week, and relief comes in the form of showers and thunderstorms into the middle and latter part of next week.
Now, Grant's weather photos.
We share a couple. Look at this owl. Ooh, this looks almost like an oil painting.
He's staring at us. He's hypnotizing us right now.
And then we talked about side-eye before. Watch this one. Let's get a little closer. At first I thought it was just a hawk with one eye. But it's kind of looking. You can see it right there. Is that really funny? That looking at you?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're trying to scare people tonight.
Once
We
again,
got sharks, now we have hawks.
sweet dreams. So good. Stay with us, Storm Team. And we're going to keep you
Stay right there, man. Jan is eating.
Late news on NBC.
My concert is stuck in Chicago. That's where Auntie Jane for cookies, right?
fireworks that you can hear.
For the movie that made people afraid to go underwater and helped create the summer blockbuster movie craze.
Steven Spielberg classic Jaws came out 50 years ago this month. The 1975 film about a man-eating shark terrorizing a small beach town. Really captivated the audience for the entire summer that year. There were so many classic lines in the film. And you got that iconic score by John Williams. It was that combination of fun and fun that kept the film #1 at the box office for 14 straight weeks.
It was scary, it was funny, it was a lot of fun to watch people jumping up and spinning their popcorn. So again, some movies to people emotionally, to see it emotionally, get scared again.
There's interesting fear that the film's iconic great white shark created actually may have given sharks a bad rap. Experts have looked for details that are either tiny shark-related deaths occurring there.
Since 1983, Nissan has been assembling award-winning vehicles right here in America. And now we're putting MSRP on Rogue and Pathfinder at the Nissan Summer Sales Event.
Now get 0% APR financing for 60 months on Rogue.
AC not keeping up? It's time to replace. ABC's experts get it done right with zero surprises, zero payments, and 0% APR for 18 months. Trust ABC and consider it done.
This Xfinity Wi-Fi is ooh.
This is Buick. Buick. Exceptional by design.
Get 0.9% APR, no monthly payments for 90 days on these 2025 Buick models. Best rent eligible non-GM owners get up to $3,000 on purchase.
Your backyard getaway starts
No.
now with savings up to 70% store-wide at the Great Escape. Swim all summer long with a brand new pool. Save thousands. Right now, get $0 one-day installation as low as $79 a month. Save up to 70% on outdoor furniture, dining sets, sectionals, photo tables, plus umbrellas for just $59. And don't miss Proterra hot tubs. Save thousands. Payments as low as $105 a month. It's the ultimate staycation, only at the Great Escape.
While they munch on Popeye's Crunch, Dante dreams away, missing out on all these new Louisiana flavor-rated wraps. Don't be like Dante.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Since 1983, Nissan has been assembling award-winning vehicles right here in America. And now we've lowered MSRP on Rogue and Pathfinder at the Nissan Summer Sales Event.
Get 0% APR financing for 60 months on Pathfinder.
Well, it's been a long 21 years, but Sammy Sosa was finally back at the good field. But the all-time wild leader made it all the way to Victoria in front of Leads all of the majors with 29 home runs. Cubs lost their second straight, 9-4. Mike Bowman has more on the return of Sammy to the north side.
It was a day 21 years in the making. Sammy Sosa, welcome back to Wrigley Field for the first time since he unceremoniously left Wrigley early on the final day of the 2004 season. Of course, the wheels were set in motion to make this day possible back in the winter when Sosa apologized for mistakes he'd made during his playing career. This was a busy day for Sammy. In the morning, he visited the Cubs clubhouse and hung out with current players like Pete Crow Armstrong, who, mind you, was in diapers the last time Sosa wore a Cubs uniform. But the highlight came after the second inning when a smiling Sammy was shown on the video board as fans gave him a standing ovation.
It's incredible. Just happy to be back, especially the standing ovation with the fans giving me that touch and everybody was there. This one will fly 425 feet. We had a grand slam Thursday. This was solo in a quick lead. And then in the third, Luis Robert hit one even further. They said this one sailed 441 feet. Way up into the upper deck. His first home run in 10 days. Sox never trailed. Nice way to start the weekend. They get a 7-1 win. Hey, here's some good news. Jonathan Toews is returning to the NHL. Unfortunately, it's not going to be with the Blackhawks. You see, after missing 2 seasons with health issues, the former Hawks captain is signing with his hometown team, the Winnipeg Jets. He will sign a 1-year deal for $2 million when NHL free agency opens July 1st. All right. The College World Series final begins tomorrow. The LSU Tigers are the heavy favorite to beat Coastal Carolina in a best-of-3. But do you think the players at Coastal care about that? Listen to this. What do you like about the Tigers? Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. That's what they, Coastal Carolina has won 26 consecutive games. You think they got good? Now, is that cocky or is that confident? I'm not sure which one. Confident. That's what I think too. I think a little bit of both, maybe.
Well, good luck to both teams. It'll be a great matchup.
We're back with this week's High Five after this.
And Brand's final check on your weekend for
Tonight, Jimmy has Sydney Sweeney.
Hi.
Jimmy, Andrew Reynolds, and Nick Kroll with a birthday surprise. And everybody's playing one ref trivia. Wow! Good luck! Plus, Elon and Trump's feud.
Their relationship went off a cliff faster than a self-driving Tesla.
Right now at Hawk Subaru on Route 59 and Cane Farm Road. Take advantage of